Happy Monday, my friends. Does this sound familiar to anyone besides myself? It's morning, the alarm sounds, and you slowly roll over and you hit the snooze button. And let's be honest, at least twice, maybe three times. In any event, you shut the alarm off, you instinctively grab for your phone and you tell yourself, I'm just going to scroll through Twitter or Facebook and see if I've missed anything important. Before you know it, you're rushing to the shower, you're throwing on clothes, hoping they match, and hopefully they're ironed. You're grabbing a cereal bar, you're yelling at your spouse and your kids, for them to get dressed as well, and you're sprinting. Everybody's sprinting off to school or work. You arrive at your desk, you skim over the same emails that you've been trying to avoid the last couple of days because you just don't want to address them. Maybe you upload a picture to Instagram. You certainly have to check again the news feed to make sure you didn't miss anything important. And before you know it, 2 hours have gone by and you have consumed more information in those 2 hours than most people had access to for a week about a decade or two ago. You combine this 24/7 connection with the demands on our time and from friends and family and job and church and so on, and the result is overwhelmed and habitually anxious people. No wonder a recent Barna study found that over half of men and women felt physically or mentally exhausted and overwhelmed in the last 30 days. If you've been there, or maybe you're there right now, I want to offer some thoughts this morning that may help you. I love the words of the Apostle Paul in Philippians chapter 4 and verse 6. He says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. And He says, then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. We often quote it from the King James as, we'll find peace that passes understanding. Tell Him and thank Him. If you're overwhelmed, let me quickly share 4 small steps to assist you in finding peace. Number 1, pray first. We got to get back to the basics. I know it's simple, but we have got to get this right. Before Facebook, before newsfeed, before the emails, pray first, because viewing your day through the filter of prayer is vital. And don't forget, prayer can change things and prayer can change people. It may not lessen your workload or eliminate decision making on your part, but it will give us wisdom. It will give us courage and strength to meet the challenges of our day. Number 2, secondly, take a step back. I know that may sound counterproductive to momentum, but you need to get a better perspective on the goals and the situations that you're facing. And sometimes, let's face it, the details, we get too close to the details and we lose the proper perspective. And so perhaps the next step you need to take is a step back. Get that big picture again. Thirdly, now you can identify priorities. Once you take a step back and you look at the big picture and you filter out things that may or may not be necessary and potentially are adding to the stress, then you can move forward. Because the statement is true. If you don't arrange the priorities in your life, someone else will. Number 4, now you're ready to start breaking your goals and your efforts and whatever you're pursuing in life into smaller, more manageable steps. Noted author and motivational speaker Jack Canfield said, know your priorities and identify 5 powerful action steps. Remember that, 5 powerful action steps that you intend to move your initiatives forward each day. And then he used this analogy to help us understand why this is important. He said, if you go to a tree with an axe and you take 5 whacks at that tree every day, it doesn't matter if it's an oak tree or a redwood tree, the tree has got to fall. The tree has got to fall. Identify the progression of small steps that will take you from where you are to where you want or need to be. Because incremental progress, hear me on this, incremental progress is sustainable progress. Create small steps that allow you to celebrate wins that will help build momentum. Because it leads us to another important principle, and that is to remember to learn to celebrate progress, not perfection. Think about a baby when it takes its first step. It's a celebration. Everyone that sees it is excited, even though that first step is often followed by a fall. No one remembers the fall, and no one tells the baby that he or she is never going to learn to walk just because they didn't execute it perfectly on the first try. Everyone is focused on that successful step. Why? because it's a sign of growth. It's a sign of progress. Somewhere along the line, somewhere along the way as adults, we lose the joy of progress and we expect perfection and we only celebrate completion. We've got to stop this. If you're staring at a mountain today, if you're taking off to try to pursue something, commit to take the next small step. Ultimately, commit your ways to the Lord and let His strength overtake your weakness. I'll leave you with the words of author Karen Lamb. She said, "A year from now, you may wish you had started today." I don't care what you're facing. I don't care what the project or the goal is. Don't let fear have the last word today, because God is with you. Take the next small step. God bless you. Have a great week.